How can MicroStrategy strategy go up in flames? I would say that the only way because, whenever you're talking like this, where it sounds too good to be true, it usually is, right? So a disclaimer of this whole thing, and I probably should have said this at the start of my segment today, but usually when something sounds too good to be true, it is. But then you think back on like the Big Short. They shorted the real estate market. They saw what was coming and they took action. MicroStrategy is shorting fiat. He sees what's coming here. There's no way for the fiat system, the fiat dollar, to turn around. There's no way at this point, $36 trillion in debt, it ever gets turned around. So yes, most things that are too good to be true are. But I mean, we have a real life example with the US real estate market. Michael Burry, 2008, shorted real estate, won. Michael Saylor, 2020, shorted fiat, winning. But how can it go up in flames? I mean, if they mishandle the Bitcoin, if the US government, if Kamala would have won and they said this MicroStrategy thing's way too out of control, we need to stomp it down, they could do that. The US government has not unlimited power, but way too much power. So the government could go in and, say, that's it, this is done. This is a threat to our dollar. This is a threat to our system. They could, shut down the company. I don't think they could take the Bitcoin, but they could, maybe. So I would say either they get hacked, they get careless with the Bitcoin, they get, they lose the Bitcoin, or the government comes after them. Other than that, I don't know. I really don't know, because you think about maybe their software business fails. Okay, it's like 200 million a year that they're buying Bitcoin with. It's like this on their balance sheet. What else? Saylor could die. Okay, they still have the Bitcoin. They still have the playbook. I don't know. That's something that I think a lot about, is what could go wrong here, because it does seem too good to be true. But so I'd say those are the two main things, is that they lose the Bitcoin, something happens to the Bitcoin, or the government shuts them down. And we know Trump, New York, Nijdig, Lutnick, they're kind of all in the same club. They're not going to shut down MicroStrategy. In fact, I think that they will use MicroStrategy in the future. They will work with MicroStrategy in the future, because yes, they're a software company today, but in 10 years from now, their software company is probably going to be toast. They're going to be a bank. They're going to be an insurance company. They're going to be partners probably with whoever's in charge at the time. So that's a good question. It is something that you have to think on, because when you're putting real money at stake and you have the option between that and Bitcoin, you're always choosing Bitcoin, because there's no risk. I mean, there's risk of it going down, but there's no risk of it getting seized. So